Okay, so here I'm going to try the mobile stream again. So now I'm using Prism Live, which is just some other random one. I tried to look for some other platforms to use to stream. Not really platform, but like the service, the go-between. So I tried doing it on the Twitch app itself. That seemed to work okay, but the problem is you can't change too many settings. Like it's always locked to 720p and stuff like that. So that's okay, but you typically want to use something else. But then I tried using Streamlabs, which has a pretty good reputation, but it's garbage. It has so many issues. It constantly crashes. It does that bug where it's like you tried to start an invalid broadcast session, so it crashes, and it's like, I don't know. I can never figure out. I looked it up. I couldn't figure out really how to solve it. So it feels like something to do with the bottom of the screen. Like whenever I switch out of an app, so like let's say I'm playing something for a while, and then I go back to the home page, which sometimes it's very often that I do that, maybe too much, because I'm constantly, attention deficit and trying to do something different. But, like jumping from one thing to the next. But when you do that, there's something about swiping the bottom of the screen that seems to almost want it, like it's trying to start a new session or it's trying to do something that causes it to bug out. Because I feel like that's usually when it happens. Not every time I do that, but sometimes, but whatever. So we're trying this Prism Live, which maybe I can review it in the process then. So I'd give the Twitch like a 3-star. It's okay, 3 out of 5 star. It's okay, but like to stream from it. But again, you can't change the quality settings and probably a lot of other things. It's not like I really mess with too many of the other features anyway, and then Streamlabs is probably like a 2-star because it just, again, these crashes and all kind of other issues. I can't even remember. There's so much troubleshooting I've had to do with this whole mobile experience, but I'm actually kind of stunned by it too. Because you're using like a top-of-the-line phone, right? It's a very new phone, very good phone, iPhone 16 Max Pro. You're using good internet, whether it be Wi-Fi or even hardwire. Like, it shouldn't require anything more than that. The first problem with Prism Live, though, even as we're using it right now, is that, we're sort of just testing it, but there's like a watermark and like some outro video, I guess. So maybe like when your stream ends. So I paid, or I guess I didn't pay yet, but I did like a free trial. So it's like $10 a month and to remove the watermark and the outro thing. And so I got like a 2-week free trial, but it's $10. So that's the one issue with it, is like you shouldn't have to do that. Like obviously Streamlabs is free, right? I never had to worry about that. So that's maybe the one issue with it. I'm willing to deal with it, although I'm not necessarily vouching for it or recommending it. But I would say, just so I don't have to deal with that nonsense, I don't mind trying it. But now, who knows? This will have its own issues as well, possibly. And then I also, while I was at it, I put like $25 on my, on my thing, on my Apple whatever account. So now I can, if I want, right? Not that I would buy microtransactions or some shit like that mobile is known for. But no, if I want to buy one of these games that are actually cost money, like Thronefall, I guess, does, Chance of Senna or whatever it is. I keep calling it Senna. It's like Senar. Anything like that, if I feel like I should be able to do it now without having to worry. So we have 25 in the balance there. Let me look at this for a second. So I want to kind of test the audio of the device. Right, like there's always issues with that, where some games wouldn't have audio, which maybe that wasn't Streamlabs' fault, but it's a situation where like PvZ Heroes didn't have audio and stuff like that, or Hearthstone didn't have music. So yeah, let me try to again. I have the 25 balance. I'm not necessarily going to use it yet, but it at least gives me the option. So now if I want to get something like that. So there was something else I was trying to do, and now I forgot. See, like I'm all about immersion, so I want to get immersed in doing this, but it's so difficult when it's constantly crashing. That was even happening when I was trying to do like my debate topics while driving. Like I'm literally I could just use like a recorder. I could just use a recorder and then just do it that way. Like, that's what I'm trying to use it as, but I happen to just want to be wanting to stream it at the same time. But it's so distracting to have to worry about that, so I don't know. Sports games on here would probably be pretty bad because, well, it depends what kind, I guess. Like, there could be a fun little basic mechanic. Like, I love my whole randomness in doing this. Like, it's just all over the place. But no, there was a certain, let's see, as we swipe in the bottom, it's going to crash the stream because somehow, I don't know what that feature is, but it seems to almost be deliberate. So this should be an order of when I downloaded them, which might not be true, but I think generally it is. So, like, you see some of the basic apps at the beginning, like Twitch and YouTube and stuff. The Rode when I was trying to use the mic, but I don't even know how that worked or what happened with it. Then we got some social media thing that I was trying to mess around with, which I haven't used yet. Then we just got a whole bunch of random games, and then, a lot of these I haven't even looked at. Or, like, when it comes to the whole delisted games thing that I used to do that format, right, where, like, I would try to play something before it goes offline, and I always complain about the fact that it doesn't, like, that it feels like an annoyance of the modern digital age that you don't have physical copies of games anymore a lot of the time, and so many, like, you could pay for a game and then, it's gone before you know it, or just in general, like, you miss out on the chance to ever be able to play it, right, if it just goes offline before you get the chance. So imagine how annoying that would be. That's, like, for games on PC and stuff. When something gets delisted, often for stupid reasons, like Spec Ops for some soundtrack or something, like you couldn't just change the soundtrack. But imagine how annoying that must be with mobile games where you don't have to, where they're a dime a dozen, just so many of them. So there were certain things I was looking for here. Hang on. Oh yeah, I was looking for, like, let me get one thing in each of these categories. So breakout games, these are sort of things you would play as a kid or that you would have seen, right? A lot of. So the breakout games would be like, again, you have that little platform on the bottom with the ball, and then you shoot the ball up, or you bounce the ball up, then it hits some of the blocks at the top, then it comes back down, and you have to catch it and stop it from going off screen, right at the bottom, and you keep hitting it back up. Right, so that's the whole genre of games. And like the space scroller shooter, obviously. Just you're kind of going left to right, almost like a platformer, but you're in like a spaceship. And then fantasy, shooting at stuff, whatever. And then fantasy overhead, which might sound odd, almost like Diablo, but there's certain ones that I'm thinking of that, like, I don't know, you'd be just looking at it from an overhead perspective, but you're like a knight or a wizard, and you're kind of just walking around, and it's not some of these descriptions are not very good of what I'm saying, but this is what I was trying to do before I crashed, so I'm just going to hope for the best that this doesn't, so breakout boost, breakout, I actually love that they're topical marketing. Wow, they're showing Halloween stuff. Wait, but this isn't even the same mechanic. This is more like you're shooting it in a... I guess that's a little bit different, but... This is why I got the 500... I don't even know what the size of this actually is. The 500 gig or the terabyte or whatever. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. In fact, this might even be one that I maybe had played because it looks like some Atari old school emulation type thing, but this is the type of mechanic that could be pretty fun on here because it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't really require some robust control, but you see, it's not really Diablo that I mean when I say that, but I guess that's the first thing you think of. Like, again, a fantasy game in that bird's eye view or like the overhead view. Let me try to get something in each of these categories. Side-scrolling space shooter. Right, these are pretty common. I somehow don't like this as much, the vertical perspective. Right, like I prefer it if they're going left to right, which sounds kind of random, but damn, these have a lot of reviews just compared to some of the things. Wait, why do I have to do this now when I didn't for the last thing I just did? But no, some of these seem to be pretty pop. Wait, what? Galaxy Attack 19. Come on, just give me one that's like. Oh, these could be awesome actually though. Come on, there's too many. Show me. Why is that not a thing? Show me the left to right. What the fuck? Do I have to look that up specifically? Like, come on, man. Horizontal spaceship. Why is that not a thing? Bro, there's got to be at least one of them. Is it like an orientation thing? Like, oh, on the phone it wants to be like that, but I want to do it in landscape mode or some shit. What is this thing? It's like showing it. These have like one review. That is so weird. Or maybe, yeah, maybe you could just choose to manually do that. I can't believe that's so hard to find, though. Like, this is an extra category. Horizontal space shooter. What the fuck? Why can't you do it? Like, if I just turn my phone, it might automatically change it, but that is really odd. Energy Blast. This looks like we have DBZ at home. DBZ at home. What the fuck? Bro, not a single one markets itself as a vertical shooter. How is that possible? Like, let me look up something that would actually be Moon Buggy. This won't be actually a game, but it's like, this was a classic thing that I played as a kid that's super obscure and nobody even has heard of. But it's like you're driving this little buggy and a side scroller, and you're like shooting from the top and the side, and it's like you keep, you know, moving left to right. There's all kind of hazards, and you're obviously shooting things. I don't know. It was just so cool. That is fucking wild. Overhead. Like, I guess I'm just inventing my own genres. But, or like it won't understand really what I'm saying. Pixel Heroes, Tales of Emon, giveaway 3650 summons. Imagine like saying that you do this for a living. Like if you're like, oh, I wrote flavor text for a mobile game called Pixel Heroes, Tales of Emon. Like, it's one thing if you're actually working, not even for AAA stuff, but it just feels weird because this almost looks like Ash in the art style. I don't know why I think of that. Healing RPG. Healing RPG like means I play a healer, or does it mean something else? Like, oh, it'll heal your stress away from... I don't understand. It's kind of hard to explain sometimes what it is that I'm really even looking for. It'd be like some simple overhead thing, and it'd be like... This is a good way to test it, actually, to see that it doesn't crash right now, though. AFK Journey. Hey, that name is actually... Hey, that's my name from something that I won't even mention what it was, but... What the fuck? They stole my name. I'm gonna copy. If I was a big streamer, I'm gonna copyright strike them. Not that you really can't take ownership over a name like that. We got the Green Goblin in this game. We got the Green Goblin plagiarizing me before GTA 6 over here. Bro, why can I not find the perspective that I'm looking for? It's not Diablo even. It's like a flat vertical overhead perspective. And then you just walk around and yeah, like even RuneScape kind of captures it a little bit, but oh my god, this fucking genre of game cracks me up, dude. Use your math skills, bro. Use your math skills. This is the next generation. Our next generation's Albert Einstein is going to be playing total battle strategy game and learning fucking arithmetic from this. This is the era that we're living in. This is literally how the next Einstein is going to come to be. What the fuck, man? Or like this whole idle thing is a nuisance. This is also one of those mobile game ad menaces, the Hero Wars. Turn-based MMO, which is actually a genre that is quite intriguing. That I feel like I've mentioned before that should be a thing, or even like just an open world, turn-based game. Wait, what is this? War of Dragons, but why is it showing me? Why is it showing me a chat? Is that like in the game, or are they just talking about it? What is this imagery? What are you up to? I'm feeling pretty sick, so I'll stay home. That sucks. I hope you feel better, Dota Dragon. Hope so too. You don't like it through the referral program. Why are you... What kind of marketing is this? Why are you not showing images from the game, but you're showing chat? Bro. What the fuck is this? I don't know why. Like, I found two things that are apparently impossible to find. Or I'm looking for two things that are impossible to find. A horizontal space shooter thing, or an overhead perspective of an RPG, which seems... Well, how can I get it if it's coming soon? Oh. Black Desert Mobile, that would be pretty interesting, actually. It's probably going to... Some of these file sizes are going to be too big, though. I don't know how to even explain it. It's so frustrating. I just want to show an example. Yeah, of course, Angry Birds. Fuck me. Why is that so hard to find, man? Sky Children of the Light. I feel like that's definitely on PC. Wait, multiplayer. I don't want to like ruin something that I could have a better experience with, on PC if a shared open world. Oh, that looks cool. Some of these are actually so impressive, but again, they'll be on... I don't know what... I'm just even getting everything now, but... Genshin Impact, I almost should mess around with it. Some of these are going to be too big. I think this is... Yeah, and then I wonder why my stream would crash. I can't find a single one like that. Like, I can't believe it. Or, it's a good example, too, of, like, the thing that appeals to the most number of people are not necessarily... That looks like Android 18 or some shit. Isn't necessarily the best. It'll be, like, some simple, dumbed-down mechanic. Maybe that's sort of the thing that might cause something to crash that you should keep in mind, is the downloading stuff while you're streaming, but you can't help it when there's all this random shit. So apparently Genshin Impact is one of the highest grossing. I just saw this on some little trivia quiz thing. One of the highest grossing games of all time, which really is unbelievable. Not even like the Holoverse or whatever those things are, Hoyoverse. That's a whole set of games like the Honkai Star Trail and stuff. But just Genshin Impact, singular, like that's insane. Because again, the way they present it actually is pretty good. Like, you know, not that I played much of it, but it didn't really tell me anything about microtransactions early on. It just kind of, you know, you just play it and it seems like a good game, and then you figure it out later. Raid Shadow Legends, this is how low the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise has sunk, huh? Imagine you're a fan of them and like Raphael, Donatello, Leonardo, and whoever the fourth one is died for this. Right, like this is literally Renaissance artists died for fucking Raid Shadow Legends to use their namesake. I'm just baffled by this whole, is there some other name for it that I'm not understanding? Because it's not the hack and slash Diablo. Overhead perspective fantasy game. Not where you control multiple units. Yeah, maybe this is exactly what it is. It's on the tip of this guy's tongue too. Overhead fantasy. Okay, let's see what this is. Warlord series. I mean, it wasn't this, but still. Yeah, see, this is more like the perspective that I mean, though. Like it's, well, not really, though. Top down. Okay, so we've kind of gone a little overboard with all these, but so we've filled up a whole nother page when I wasn't trying to get to it. So some of these things I've obviously already done on PC in some form, but we can either mess around or maybe I won't even do it. Like, how about we play Genshin Impact for the third time ever? What did I do in the first 2 times? Oh, I played the beginning tutorial area, like that whole circular, whatever, where you start until you get to the first town. And then that took me several hours, too, because I was really taking my time and soaking it in and reading all the flavor text and stuff and trying to climb up that stupid-ass wall, like, of some, like, a part of where you start. There's, like, a whole area of water, and I tried to climb up the whole side of the mountain or whatever, unsuccessfully messing with, like, the parkour climbing mechanic. Then the second time I did it years later, and I did the same exact thing. I started again. Maybe I didn't have the same account, or I didn't care, or whatever. So then I just did the same thing. I wandered around the same area, and I just, whatever. Then we went until we got to the town. So now I'll do the same thing again on here. Just keep restarting. Like, look at how much you could get out of doing this. So this is actually kind of cool from that sense. Like, but again, I should make a point not to do stuff that you could do on PC anyway, because then I should just do it on PC. Let's think about how specific this label is that I'm looking for. Top-down fantasy game in which you only control one unit that isn't a hack-and-slash game like Diablo. Right, that's the actual search term that I'm looking for. I guess there might be some issue with the perspective on here, I don't know. Okay, I think we've done enough. Okay, let's just do, like, this will be the last one, and we'll actually look at some of these, but I'm sort of trying to display that too, like the expendable nature of these kind of things. Like, there's so many and they're free, so you'll just kind of jump around. I will treat them as permanents, so if it's single player, if I die, then I'll just delete the game. And if I, like a permanent gauntlet that I do with so many things, and then if it's multiplayer, also if I lose a game, then I'll delete it. I might make some exception if it makes sense, but basically that'll be my general standard. Because some of these I was almost trying to like, oh, I'm gonna save it for a special occasion or something, or it's like kind of a big deal because, what the fuck is going on? Why can't I go? You know, like Pokemon Go or something, like it deserves, oh, I fucked up my... Wait, but this wasn't there. Like what was here? I don't even know. I was just trying to keep these uniform in like the order that I had gotten them, but for some of them it doesn't matter because like I got these all at the same time anyway. And, right, and there's no special rhyme or reason. I guess these two must be part of the same universe. The name that I will not speak for my own copy. That is so fucking... I mean, I guess, again, it's a name, it's just a name, but... There was a character like that, I feel like, in Path of Exile, but then I looked back at my VOD and I couldn't even find him. So I forget what part it was at, but... Where's the name of a character that I had written in, like, my short stories, The World's First Trillionaire. It was like a kind of an archetypal character of mine. So this seems to be working okay so far. The prism thing. So let me see. So again, guns up. I haven't technically died in yet. So I can't decide. Okay. Guns up is okay. We can keep messing around with later. Then the chance of Centaur, you have to actually buy, but I don't have to do it yet. Pokemon Go, again, I guess I'll save for a special occasion. Thronefall, also, I think you have to buy. I mean, I can still do the demo in there, but... Let's try this one. Okay, Tomb of the something. So we are doing it in landscape orientation, but I don't know if some of the... Tomb of the Mask, okay. Like, it shouldn't mess up this, I guess, but I don't know. So you're trying to... Oh, okay, I see. Swipe in the direction that you're going. This almost reminds me of that one game. The VVVVV thing. Is this going to be a micro... See, everything has to have a built-in either add a microtransaction element, because otherwise then what are, you know... Protect yourself from crashing. Yeah, I wish I could do that on stream, though. Double tap to activate a shield. This almost makes me want to play Pac-Man or some shit. No! Oh, fuck, I missed that. Protect yourself from what does this... Yeah, you have to think about it from that perspective. Every game either has to have microtransaction business model, or you have to buy the game outright, or you have to... Which I prefer that, even if you're... But again, you get a lot of free shit the whales will support, like I always make fun of, but when you don't have to pay a cent, but whatever. The point is that... Oh, okay, I want to see what that was. I didn't know. I guess then the game is over. See, this is how punishing it'll be. But because these are dime a dozen. Now let's replace that with... Let's replace that with, since I just felt like doing it, with, a Pac-Man style game. It doesn't have to be Pac-Man per se, but... Or, like, there should be an online. This should be an online one where you play against other people. That would be kind of fun. Right, I've never actually seen that. Yeah, Pac-Man, Party Royale, and moving stickers. 256 plus, arcade run. I'm ruining what could be such good experiences if you were to do them on PC potentially, but whatever, it's the same thing. Okay, so you have... There was this one game for the GameCube, like Pac-Man Adventure World or something, that was so good. That's like actually a side-scroller. Okay, so now everything's going to end up on this first page, though, which I don't want it to. Because, again, that's not actually where it's meant to be. You can, I think you can make like a folder if you like put, yeah. Let's do it like that. Okay, so what this represents is like the ones that we're currently on. And then we'll start to try to delete some through here. Right, so these should be still relatively in order. And then we have 3 whole pages of things to look at. So we'll go through these ones first. And again, either I'll do them till I die or until I, lose a game if it's an online thing, or until I, until I beat it, or not that I have to do it all at once, but obviously. So I have to update, okay, fine. Have a cup of tea while the resource files are being downloaded. Our app wants to stay free. Dude. Come on. Login methods. Are you a new player? Magic stones are sacred relics of maintaining the balance of the world. One day, a bunch of bad guys... Oh, here we go. Fucking exactly what you'd expect from mobile game storytelling. A bunch of bad guys. Tap the chest, open the chest. Wait, what? Oh, you have to do that. Maybe why I wasn't expecting... I wasn't expecting to be using those kind of weapons out. Like a fantasy. Have the skill button. Oh, this is cool. This is like some kind of nuclear throne type shit. Northern Lion would love this kind of shit. Roguelike, probably. Which I feel like that term started to become overused a bit, but whatever. Like just something where you can get like different results every time within a certain criteria. And I'm gonna be super OCD about destroying every box. Or there was like this genre of like single player card games, like or like not even really card games, but I feel like you build a deck, and I don't know how to explain it, but as somebody who likes card games, it sort of seems a little weird because it's like, okay, it's a single player card game where you kind of build up your deck of things throughout a run, almost like a roguelike. When you run out of energy, you can switch to melee attack. By closing up to the enemies, okay. Now, am I replacing what I have, or? Melee attack. Wait, but this is not even a choice. That's like... I don't get it. This seems actually very good. Ah, fuck. And I guess maybe this kind of game doesn't suffer too much from being on mobile, but still, it's not great. Or like, why am I doing that? I'm blowing myself up. It's kind of a troll to put those in here for the first time when somebody's using a melee weapon. Save your energy, most require, okay. Energy pot. Am I gonna have to buy microtransactions to do that? I guess not, because it said it's free. Like later on to stock up on energy. Switch to melee. Yeah, we get it. See, I don't like that. Oh shit, it's gonna be bullet hell. I don't like those kind of slower ones. I'd rather just rapid fire, and you know, accuracy doesn't matter. Use the portal to end the tutorial. That's a great first impression, actually. Congratulations on finishing the beginner tutorial. This challenge condition can make your adventure in the dungeon a bit easier. You've completed a beginner tutorial. Here are your gems. Select a hero. Oh, wait, what? Felt like it kind of lagged there, but I guess maybe you just can't choose anything else. Use a virtual stick to... So can I not use any of these or what? Hey, I come from the magic well in the garden. I love fluffy animals and greens. The volume seems a little bit low, actually. I took the path that I do... Wait, what? Follow the right path. I took the path less traveled by, okay. Task. Board, get weapons, use skills, defeat enemies. Oh, man. Gas upon machine. Welcome to the limited time gas upon event. Trader, be your host today. I don't care about all this. Achievements. Okay, we can look at all this later. I just wanted to kind of talk to every character. Vampire, I don't drink juice. Presumably you'll be able to play as all of these later. By the power of the ruler of the... Man, how the fuck am I supposed to read that so quickly? Evil and filth dispersed. Swords, I command you to follow divine path. Power of the immortal king in the south, general. Maybe it's meant to be kind of a joke like that he's rambling on. I can feel the magic recovering. I'm not lonely at all. I have so many friends. I'm preparing a new magic trick. What are you, Anna Kremling, trying to show off to Lev Honoronian that you know a magic trick even though you don't know actual fucking chess at a high enough level to waste his time? There are just moments like that you have to analyze on a deeper level, right? Like it seems like, oh, it's just a cute, fun little thing. You're just trying to show off a magic trick. How cool. But this is one of the best chess players ever. He's 2,800 rated, right? And he's sitting there watching a 2,000 FIDE player do a magic trick. Like, what the fuck is that? Develop facility. Watch TV. Watch ads and get rewarded. Look, dude. And how convincing is that to advertisers anyway when you know you're doing it just for... Like, okay, I'll watch the same ad of the same thing a million times to get infinite whatever. Like, is the ad really working at that point? Because you know you're doing it just to want a drink. Interesting. Be careful out there. Stay a while and listen. I like wrestling. Oh my god. Rogue, wait till I finish this episode. Oh my god. Again, I wouldn't want to do those things anyway. See, that's my whole philosophy. I like to make things harder for myself, or I like to kind of build up and take my time and you know, in general, right? Like, even if I'm playing like a card game like Hearthstone or something, I don't even mind. I wouldn't want to buy packs and decks because I'm happy just kind of building up my collection or taking my time and having something to work towards. The joke is usually on them. Next gift is a panda. Or again, it should always be that there's no... Whatever you could earn, whatever you could buy, you could earn with real money. Paladin, I like this TV show. What, he's watching from all the way there? Wow. This has a certain sense of personality to it, I guess. Okay, email, expiration, don't really care. Lucky cat starting a business. Daily reward, I hate those kind of insidious psychological things of a daily quest. Or no, I should do, I should do the badass difficulty. No, can I actually, hold on. Fuck. Oh, do I get to choose that though later? Like if I wanna, I'm often like that. I'll be like a one stat guy where I do every single, see we'll do, that's part of the hard mode format. We're not allowed to, oh wow. We're not allowed to use that to get, we have to earn everything ourselves and just deal with not having it otherwise instead of the, wait, I didn't see this. Instead of being able to watch ads or farm it that way. But no, it's like minor. The subterranean world has it all, trust me. Okay, let's do that badass difficulty. Ah. Continue. Yeah, I totally wasn't doing that to cheat, like if I was gonna die, because I just entered it, but normally I'll say I shouldn't be able to quit out like that. I was trying to actually shoot the cat because I didn't know it was mine, because I didn't feel like we had it in the other. This is actually really good though. See, this is the kind of thing I could get behind. You know, just straight to the point, gameplay heavy. It's not going to be too bogged down by the business model. It'll just be... Well, no, I guess it does have both though. Where you can buy the currency and stuff that you'd be using, but you can also do it in such a way that wait, what? You can buy the currency, but you can also watch ads to get the currency, I guess. Which even that, you could say is fine, because like, oh, that's an option. Really, it shouldn't be that you're forced to watch ads. Okay, if you want to do it to get currency, fine. But then there'll be like some incentive to throttle you, like, oh, you need it, or you'll have to farm it out otherwise. That's the funny thing with MMOs. People would say like, okay, an MMO is going to be grindy, and that's a way to kind of get your money. But MMOs often didn't have microtransactions in them early on. Like you think about classic WoW, like, oh, it's grindy. Well, why would it be grindy? They don't get anything out of it. You know, you're not paying them to shortcut that because you can't. So it'd be more like, oh, it's to get you to play it for a long period of time so that you stay subscribed longer. But even that wouldn't work, because if you don't enjoy it, then you wouldn't do that. So it's time consuming, but it's also immersive. Like, okay, we're going to make you feel really invested so that you want to stay subscribed for a long time. Or even the social element, like, okay, you want to play with your friends and stuff like that. You need a rod. Yeah, not the first time I've heard that. Just caught one of these fish, want one. Not enough money. Damn it, why does it seem so quiet though? Like... I can't tell what's really happening with this. Is it meant to be... It's meant to be still a better melee combat system than Oblivion, am I right? But no, it's a situation where I'm going to come to find out that, oh, my mic isn't working this whole time, or something isn't working. Even though, whatever, just because we're using a different thing. different streaming app. But no, the point is that, what was I gonna say? Just, I don't know. Certain weapons are no longer usable with energy. To please keep an eye on the energy. We're just using this as a fucking beat stick anyway. Or we got these orbitals, as they're called, Binding of Isaac lingo, or other roguelikes, obviously. That one of my favorite spells from Dark Souls, or Ashen, even the Ukuto's Guise or Guile or whatever the fuck it was, where these orbs kind of circle you, and there was even that, what is it called in Dark Souls? It's like, whatever, it's the same thing, like they kind of circle around you and then they home in on somebody, homing soul mass. It's hard to assess something like that. If you play Ashen before you play Dark Souls, or you don't know anything about Dark Souls, you might think it's much more impressive than it actually is. So this game is actually really, see, I'm going to be constantly impressed, like, oh, you know, a mobile game that's actually decent, like as if it's a shock. Or again, it'll come to find out that most of the good ones are just on PC anyway, so why even bother? And even if they're not on PC, you can still do them on PC. So what I would equate the whole experience of mobile gaming to is, like, again, like an old school Flash game experience. Oh, it's the early to mid 2000s and you're kind of taking a break from playing WoW or whatever, something more intensive, right? From Half-Life or whatever. And so you're playing Flash games on Newgrounds, right? Just kind of as a less invested experience. Select a buff. Pause the game and hold the icon of buffs or challenge conditions for more information. Statue effects can be triggered twice per skill cast. You can be buffed by two different statue effects at the same time. So those are like passives, combo, turbo. Increase the number of combo hits for combo hit weapons. Hero's Valor. Each skill used increases damage by 10%, stacking up to 5 times. Instantly gain full stacks. I don't know. Weapon vending machine. See, like, I have trouble feeling like, okay, this is good, but do I want to just keep doing this, or do I want to try something different? Right, like, how much of, it's hard for me to really invest in one thing. But no, this is a good way to do it. So this folder will be for, like, the immediate ones that I'm trying to do. And then we have these as an overall thing that I want to look at these at some point. I'm kind of cheating the fact of trying to limit it to, like, a certain number of pages that I have. Let's try one genre here of, like, a text-based kind of thing, where it'd be like a choose your own. Oh yeah, this I think I even looked at on something. Maybe on my own or on my other phone or something. Like a text-based sort of, or there'll be some sort of AI thing, like, oh, you're not meant to show this because it's AI, and generally I would be against that, but it shouldn't matter. Or yeah, like that'll be, oh, there's a ban on AI. Oh, that means that every old school game that you've ever played from 20, 30 years ago would also be banned, because those had AI too, just in a different way, right? Like, how else? You know, it's like everything is AI, right? Like, the enemies that you're fighting are controlled by AI. Life in a bit. Look at how I'm just sort of spamming everything. Like, fuck it, dude. Just try everything. Cyber Code Online. Okay, so these, what I want to do is put them in the thing over here, though. What? Or wait, how did it even call to action games? How does it know that? But no, this can be genuinely fun if I don't have to worry about the technical issues of it crashing, or if I, oh my god. I'm trying not to get too many of these, but I can't help it. But no, that's kind of like the business model debate. Would you rather buy a game outright, or would you rather have ads, or would you have it be free but have ads, or would you rather have it be free but you have microtransactions? I guess you would probably say in theory that you'd rather just buy it so you know what you're getting into and then everything is yours, and just because again it informs the design of it a little bit. Like, it creates an incentive. If it's like, okay, you just buy it like you would on console or PC or whatever, then that's it, right? Like, now it's just about you try to the fuck, how do I move it? What is happening? Huh. What I'm trying to say, if I don't get fucking triggered by doing this, again, you buy it and then you know what you're gonna get it. Yeah, and then the design is just like, let's try to make the best game possible, period. Instead of let's try to, instead of, how do I change the name of this? Or that'll keep triggering me, the fact that there's the one empty space here. Whatever, but yeah, so arguably though, you would say, okay, you'd rather just buy it outright and then you know what you're getting into. But the thing with mobile is it's kind of like quantity over quality. So it's like there's so many games and there's so many that are free that it's harder to say that, because what happens is, you wouldn't necessarily want to buy every single one then. You'd rather have a bunch of free things that you can just kind of mess around with and get infinite content, and then it's like, it's sort of disposable. Okay, if you don't like it, just move on to the next one. Or as soon as you get bored by the business model, you don't have to like nest with one and really commit. You can just kind of mess around and keep trying different ones. And then you also get in a situation where, again, the ads can be kind of annoying. Especially like forced ads. It's one thing like, okay, you watch an ad to get a resource if you want, but you shouldn't have to do it. And then obviously the microtransactions can be very predatory and annoying. So that was very good. Even these I'm not necessarily going to do in order. Like, let's just try. It makes it so hard to do quality control though. Right, because there's going to be so much just... I don't know why everything is so quiet. Aspiring to be a great adventure... Man, that's annoying. Mara Nithi. And this is going to have microtransactions too. With the sound of a magnificent trumpet, a strong-looking individual escorted to the platform. Individuals slowly knelt before the king. Everyone in the kingdom will remember your adventure. Gaze upon this one, people. This adventure is our country's hero. With the king's decree, the crowd went wild. Ever since you witnessed the event with your own eyes, you dreamt of becoming an honorable adventurer instead of inheriting your father's farm. Years have... Wow. But that's like... it's not like you're rags to riches. You're pretty... you have a certain amount of privilege options there. Years have passed and the dream remains in your heart. Final motivated, start your own adventure. So what, these weapons and stuff will just be a prop to, like, we won't actually do combat, but we'll have it as in order to unlock certain options, or you stop by a small town called Yeherin to get some food. You buy, I wonder how scripted this is, if like it's some randomly generated thing, or if every time it's like this. You buy hard bread and sit down on a bench to nibble at it. Then you hear a conversation between two men. Did you hear about the Witch of Youth? She lives in the swamps of Alinger and can grow younger. Nonsense. Everyone grows old, lad, not the other way around. No, I'm telling you, Joel saw this woman who turned into a young woman in an instant. Sure, let's ask. You stop by. You lift your head to face them. The conversation intrigues you. Ask for more information. One of them crosses arms. I could tell you more depending on what you're going to offer. Persuade them. Persuade them. I don't know what we're offering. I can't even tell what that is. Oh, maybe there will be actually a combat mechanic here. Wait, but what is that? Why are we just randomly... Why are we just randomly in a battle there? Like, we're not even doing anything. Did you hear about the witch? Okay, I keep reading the top like it's something new. Fail. You try to persuade them, they aren't willing to listen. Exclusively talk to each other before getting up and leaving. So we just get ghosted. You hear someone screaming close by. You head through some bushes towards the sound. You arrive and see a slime swallowing a herb. Okay, that's the slime encounter. He sees you. Okay, save him. You thrash the slime. It shakes, it spits out. Wait, what? Why can't I fight it though? What is this? Why is it? It's permadeath, so if I die... I don't know if this is meant to be tied to that scenario, or it's just like a random thing you can do whenever you want. I guess that's just random. Simulate battle. It shakes, spits out the herbalist, charges at you. The herbalist thanks you and then runs off. Okay. Seems pretty cool and well presented, but... Oh, here we go. Now it's doing it. Skip dice roll, roll the dice. Is that like my damage value or what? I don't know what that even did. Gain knowledge of slime. You hear someone screaming close by. You head through some bushes towards the sound. You arrive and say, oh, fuck me. I'm gonna keep doing that where I read that. Defeat the slime, lose your shape, crumbles, bow to you and thank you, and left. Under the scorching sun, workers are busily repairing the ruined walls. Among the hardworking people, you hear a man complaining. Damn, I can't show this to the landlord. He walks around the city walls, sweating profusely in chain mail. You approach and ask what's going on. He's Sergey, company commander of the city, explains the situation. Landlord has asked to renovate the city with walls within the month. However, we're short of workers and need an architect. Nearly no progress for several days. He sighs and shouts at the workers for no reason. He just explained the reason, though. Workers hastily carry the stones as if walking on eggshells. I'm good at manual labor. Let's try to bullshit him a little bit. Success, wow. Would you take a look at this? Throws a suspicious gaze at you, then takes out the blueprint for the city walls. You examine it slowly, you modify the unrealistic details in blueprint, recalculate the workforce materials demanded for each section. Thanks to your suggestion, progress quickly, finishes earlier than expected. Hands you the wages and speaks. Excellent job. Told me to enhance the gates too. What do you think? I like how we were just bullshitting and pretending that we were good at it, but then we somehow actually helped. Enhance the wall with steel. Licks his lips and nods. You were passing through a town. You meet a kid who seems... Okay. Look. These all seem pretty good, actually. I'm having kind of better luck this time than with some of them that I was doing before, where they're just getting baited by fucking ads or something. But no, wait, did I die in that last word Z? I guess I must have, because that's the only time I will delete something. Or if I just don't like it, maybe, but generally, I'll still try to keep it around. But no, I was trying to look up, like... I was trying to look up the... Oh yeah, why is iPhone headphone so quiet? What? Reduce loud sounds is off. Restart your phone, update, restart Bluetooth. I guess it's not a big deal, but... Passing through a town, you meet a kid who seems to boss his friends around. He speaks to you arrogantly. You, adventurer, get over here and play with us. He's dressed in silk like unlike the other children, probably belongs to a rich, powerful family. His friends tended to his every need, wearing servile smiles. Let's just nicely leave. You run from the children, they chase after you. Yeah, that kind of simulates like we are playing with them anyway. 3 Tomb Raiders. You listen to 3 wanderers having a conversation. They speak of the tomb of ash and grief where king of a fallen kingdom is buried. They plan to pay a visit. Ask if you can join them, look for it yourself. They're excitedly talking about how much treasure the tomb must have. You eavesdrop on the conversation and decide to go look for the ash and to yourself. You leave the wanderers behind and discuss how to split the loot. Faced with a pile of dirt formed by a landslide, you are about to go around it when a monstrous spider pops out of the dirt. It looks at you with its multi-layered eyes. Success, but don't we get to simulate the thing? Dies instantly. That's sort of anticlimactic. Give us the actual fight mechanic that you have in here. What a waste. Why have that mechanic if you can't use it for situations like that? This kind of genre of game is actually so cool, but I don't know, like you want to sort of blend it with mechanics too. You take out the weapon and okay, we read that. I don't know why I keep feeling like something new pops up and I have to read it again. You walk the city wall again, which was under construction the other day. You see it's probably built while doing its job, however the gates are merely made out of wood. Greets me warmly, he didn't use steel. Gosh, I was waiting, need to ask you something urgently. I have to mine iron ore on my lord's order, however the bugbears beat the workers to death and took over the mine. You accept his request and head over the mine shaft where the bugbears were seen. Mine shaft is quite close to the renovated wall. Simple barricade is at the adit, but he removes it for you. They are evil, so please be careful. Feels cooler and damper inside the tunnel than outside. As you walk along, you hear something move. That you didn't even have another choice. You listen carefully, probably just your mood. I wonder if you can just get hard locked by some bad luck moment like that. You boldly approach the bugbears in a slightly more expansive space. This place is ours. The bugbears warn you with awkward accents. Swinging their clubs, they jump on you. Wait, oh shit, the victory chance is pretty bad. This could be our... I don't get what that even means. Like it's... Oh, shit. Defeat... Managed to dodge and run away. No, I didn't. I actually died and the game is gone for good. This is how harsh we should be about it. Because again, there's so many things to choose between. It's fine. Let me see if I can't figure this out. So what could I even do to fix it though? Clean the port. It's not even a port. It's literally a wireless Bluetooth. Restart. Update iOS. Restart. And then reduce safety size. Volume limit, audio back. And I mean, that should be like, you put it to halfway on the app, right? On the, what do we call it? On the Prism, I put it to like halfway, but that should only be for the outward, you know, what's being shown on stream. That shouldn't really affect it otherwise. Okay, here we go. Permanent Pac-Man, round 1. Oh, that kind of movement's gonna mess me up though. Because I was trying to go one way and then I messed up. It's like there's a certain vibe that you get from the whole mobile experience that it feels like, oh, certain games, like there should be, you know, fitting. Wait, what's happening? What is it? Wait, why are we getting trolled by the... We're getting dyslexia-induced fucking... What the fuck is going on? Bro, what was that? All the letters and shit. Maybe it doesn't want you to stay in one place, so this will just be like... Oh, this is a bad spot to be in. Oh, shit. Oh! And that part of the map was fucking horrible. That one's meant to be, I guess, just endless. So again, we get the one shot. I mean, again, if I last a really long time with one of these, so be it, but... Oh, this could be good if it's, yeah, like a multiplayer. Electric field, something. Blasty and time bomb effect. If you touch Blasty, you become a time bomb. After a few seconds, it will explode. If you're planting landmines, strategically minimize the blast. Magnet fruit. Why is he so slow? Reach the target, okay. Or, oh, you know what else I think of? Now that we're on the topic, how about like a Bomberman type thing? Which again, it won't be that necessarily, but it'll be like a clone that does the same vibe. This could be so good, actually. See, I don't mind doing this from time to time. Just like mobile. If you get really... Oh, this looks so good graphically. Is this a real old game, or... It's meant to be... Defeat the final boss and save the princess. Enjoy arcade original. Okay. I like this sort of associative process, whatever. Wait, now the audio is much louder. The more packed down you eat, the faster you go. Wait, why is it so loud now? What? What happened? This is how it should be. Or you could say it's just based on the game itself, but... Okay. It doesn't even take the time to make you worry about getting the rest of the dots. If eaten, you become a ghost. Now, touch another Pac-Man to come into the game. You turn into a ghost, not too late. Catch the other Pac-Man and become a Pac-Man again. Oh, I thought I was still the Pac-Man. Yeah, this could be so fun to keep you on forever though. Like, are you faster than him somehow? But then won't he become a ghost then, and he'll be right there and then immediately come after me? Like, there must be some cooldown period. If you touch Itchy, you'll suffer from one of his tricks. Okay. Oh, it's like back. Oh, that's cool. You get backwards thing. This is like the right use of an IP, honestly. They try to take the base mechanics and turn it into something where you can do it multiplayer. We're now ready to face off in the party battle arenas. New festival started. Got a new item. This is just like the reward track thing, I guess, which all these games overuse that as a mechanic, like where, I don't know, I feel like everything has its own little reward track. Buy the battle pass now. Play 3 battle arena games. Okay. Stabs. Will some people start off already as being the ghost, or? If you touch Itchy, okay, here we go. Or like we could be competing against each other though too. Like, okay, we're trying to get as many possible for ourselves. Or look how I cucked the guy. I hit him into that, which I didn't know necessarily the mechanic was gonna work like. No, I feel like that's unfair. I was trying to move, but it wasn't working, I swear. I don't know what is even going on there, but like the Phoenix, you came back into them. I somehow won, even though I have no idea what was going on. I can't even explain what happened. But since we won, see now what should be the criteria here? Only if I'm in last place, because it shouldn't be that I have to get first place every time. Right, that might be too unfair. It should be more like, okay, if I get last place, then I lose. Right, like that counts as a death, basically. But no, I felt like I was trying to move at times and it wasn't actually working. I have to be maybe a little more firm with it. Your inputs are so limited, but yet you're still, having trouble with them. We got this whole side basically to ourselves here. Even that alone, you could just win now by attrition. This is maybe even a bad use of that, because you're not going to get there in time then. Or these things respawn, I guess, too. That can be the best thing to do sometimes, where you knock them into basically the goals. Like that guy's fucked at the bottom, he's fucked. You can sort of sabotage your people. No, oh fuck, I should have gotten that. Okay, I didn't make the best use of that, but whatever. Or you can even eat your own when you're doing that. Fucking... I keep trying to do that shit, but... Damn, we're gonna be actually dominating people in this lifetime. This is the perfect example of just something that you've taken a sandwich IP and a mechanic and you just make it a very simple, replayable, to the point, satisfying kind of thing. And to whatever extent there's going to be microtransactions is fine, but I can't even imagine the mentality of doing that. Like, imagine being subscribed to the reward track in Pac-Man mobile fucking, like, who would take it that seriously or play it that much to care to do that, right? These games feel like such a dime a dozen that it's impossible to really take them seriously that way. Where was he even going? He was like going down the stairs there. The fuck? Why can't I get that? Oh, should we cheat? That fucker. That fucker. Now we just need one of the other ghosts to come from like the same direction, basically. You can eat like your own guys when doing that. All these hazards make it fucking crazy. You've reached bronze rank 2. We're gonna become the highest rated player in this game, or do actual like Clash Royale kind of cracks me out that way, where you don't really think of it as the kind of game that has a competitive scene, but you don't think of it as the kind of game that has a competitive scene, but it obviously does. And it actually, people take it quite seriously. I mean, like esports and shit. Or now they're gonna start to gang up on me or something. You can like eat the other players too when you can eat the other players when you get that shit too, but okay. Wait, how did he win already that fast? I guess that would count as a. Maybe these multiplayer ones shouldn't be so punishing like that. This is actually really good. I, I guess it's maybe just. No, no, I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. Um, it's like a luck thing where. Or maybe, you know what I should do? I should almost review these as I'm doing them. Like on the store and say, like, okay, this thing is really good or this thing is. I'll write out like an articulate review for each of these. That seemed really, really good. Um, I guess I'll be that punishing again because we have so many things to go through. But it was he got lucky. Like everybody just got taken out maybe at once early on. Take the tutorial, rogue, easy. Welcome, young adventurer. I don't think we have met. May I advise a short tutorial? No, I don't care. You're standing at the start of the path before, it's not like how hard could it be? You just click the options that appear. Before, small wooden sign, legendary, here be traps and treasures, monsters and magic. You might be wondering what this is all about. In that case, you're in luck. You see, the thing is that with the path, you simply have to follow it. Only minutes on the path, you see a man largely wrapped in bandages going the other way. The sign, he cries, I've made it back. Then he throws you a bag and runs off. Watching him disappear, you open the bag and find a sharpening stone, a rusty dagger, and a fly swatter. Plus sharpening stone. Why the fuck would you want a fly swatter? Oh no, a black crow. Monsters come in all shapes and sizes, but there's one thing, they all share a burning love for treasure. They don't mind killing for it. While on the path, you can avoid battle by throwing them some of your treasure. On the other hand, defeat them and you can take theirs. Jump to the black crow for the first attack. You strike for 3, hit the crow, you prepare to defend. Strikes 3 and you block it, -1, you prepare to attack, same thing. Play the Black Crow. I'm not saying that it should give you a ton of visual feedback, but it wouldn't hurt to show like just an image of the thing that you're fighting, right? Like that other game was showing the slime and stuff. There's a thing with fighting for your life. It's an experience you'll never forget. The Black Crow leaves. Can you actually see that when the? I guess you probably should be able to. It's like this is Bluetooth headphone. It's like whenever you touch it, if I like touch it in my ear, it'll adjust the volume. Like it's kind of annoying. The Black Crow leaves his heirs a fair amount of valuables. Pity they aren't around. You inherit some treasure and a monster part. The ring of fire goes and heals a scratch. Most curious thing about adventuring is you find loot everywhere. There's time. This time is treasure and a mushroom. I bet we'll find more toys and candy before the journey is over. At the bottom of the tall, overhanging cliff, you find the entrance of a dungeon. Feels like someone tried to hide it with fern leaves. See, like there is some attention span problem that happens with this. We have to like really commit to one thing or immerse in it. Should I maybe start doing that? That'd be kind of a fun idea. Like, let me give my genuine review. The problem with that is it's like, I guess you're not playing them for long enough, so it's hard to say. But that seemed like an amazing idea because I've never really been a big fan of the Mario Kart series. I've always said it's sort of like a little silly, where like who wants to do something in a game that you could do in real life? Which you could say that with sports games, but then at least the difference there is like, okay, you can't really play them at the level that people do. Like, oh, if you want to play a basketball game, just go out and play basketball for real, whatever. But with this, it's like, okay, you're driving at a speed in these games that is slower or the same as what you would be driving at in real life in an actual car on your way to work or whatever, right? Versus like F-Zero where you're going like 1,000 miles or some crazy amount, or Sonic where you're going at least super fast. So that's at least more intriguing to me in the premise. Like at least you're going much faster than you really would. Whereas here, you know what I mean? You're doing slow speed racing, which doesn't feel all that interesting. We're just gonna bastardize and ruin every franchise though, or everything that you could potentially do again on PC. Oh, this is one that has a certain following to it too. There's so many that are just like memed on. Yeah, this was really, really interesting. Love playing. It's really fun. Hoping to keep playing it. Our Apple Arcade is only for free for 3 months and $6.99 on my parents. We'll cancel after that. That's the kind of a sad review though that he's. Oh, my parents won't pay for this. I just do a random match. I know myself is weird, like my character is just all normal skin. When I check my dressing room, it's all gone. I love that he says that. I love this. It's really fun. I was hoping to keep playing this since my Apple Arcade is only for 3 months free, and it's $6.99, and my parents will cancel after that. That is such an innocent kind of thing to say. Okay, let's try to um I don't know. I find this so hilarious. I guess maybe if I beat something or if I play it for a long period of time. That was kind of a disappointing loss. I feel like sometimes there's an input issue that I'm having with these, like not really an excuse, but just like I'm trying to move it and sometimes it wouldn't register exactly right. But yeah, that seemed pretty good, and it's especially good. Especially good if you can obviously last a bit longer, but we're going to be very punishing with this as far as, if we die in any of these. It's honestly very hard for me to focus on just one of these things. Um, let's keep trying this one. At the bottom of a tall, overhanging cliff, you find the entrance of a dungeon. It looks like someone tried to hide it with fern leaves. Probably the same person left this. No, don't bother with this one. Just a cave, really, not a bit of treasure, let alone a wizard's hat. A day of climbing up and down. Made patrols, you wonder who made them, when, and why. Then your thoughts return to the other, with more pressing questions like, will I make it out of here alive? You haul the underground river, raging endlessly. A raised drawbridge can be lowered with a lever if you have a way to remove the lock. Otherwise, the only way onward involves getting soaked. Let's try to RP as my real self. Like, I can't swim, so let's pretend like our character can't swim. That's his one weakness, like the John Marsden effect, where Marsden can take out dozens of guys and gunfights and all this kind of crazy crap and ride a horse and get away from the law enforcement and bounty hunters, but he can't. He literally cannot swim. You cross a gloomy, which is a way to just enforce invisible walls, obviously, but still. You cross a, or that was true even in the old GTA games, right? The characters couldn't swim. So what was the first one where you could do it as like San Andreas, I think? You cross a gloomy cellar by the looks of the furniture. A good amount of torture took place here. You're relieved to find the thick layer of dust. As you step back outside in the blinding sunlight, you hear someone say bugger. But he was trying to trap me. He was trying to trick me and trap me. into going there. Like you definitely won't find a wizard's hat in there. So he waits for you to walk into a trap, and then you leave your shit. He takes your shit. Looking at the night sky, you see a star falling down. You chase his bright tail through the countryside. Inside the smoking crater, you find some treasure. The path goes through a half-buried skeleton the size of a cathedral. Under the cover of what seems to be a shoulder blade camps a traveler. Amazing, isn't it? She says, and this was the only of the younger. This was only the younger brother of a full-grown giant that occupies the Castle of Doom. Mm, oh, man. You're looking out over a field of ruins when you hear something say hello. Before a tiny wall sits a worm and scarf around it. Wouldn't go in there if I were you, it says. One cloak of camouflage and a lot of trouble. Why don't you come inside and have a cup of tea? Entering a foggy basement, you trip and fall headfirst into a pile of cockroaches crawling over the remains of a rotting corpse. One thing that keeps popping up wherever you are is the lonely watchtower. The ominous black building looks terrifying while also strangely attractive. Who would have thought that a blob would appreciate such height? In contrast, certainly doesn't appreciate your visit. Eager to attack, ready to defend. So you can't really run away from these. Blob strikes for 3, and you block it partly. Attack with the dagger. Wait, what did they say? I can't use my hands because why? Too low attack. Okay, how much health does it have though? Oh, 1 out of 8. Okay. Blob blocks it slightly, so my favorite thing is going to be this ring of life that keeps healing me, I guess, after every fight. Fighting monsters is always an interesting experience, especially when it's over. I love how he keeps saying that. It says experience, like in a literal sense. Experience stays with you. All kinds of things are finding their way out of the blob, including some treasure. You stand at the edge of an open space covered in grass that reaches your waist. You'd love to investigate the place further, but a cloud of giant mosquitoes hangs in the way. I mean, we could have a fear of mosquitoes, like we're trying to characterize our character here. Like we're afraid of bugs, and we can't and we can't swim. Hurry back, leaving the treasure. Ring of life heals, glows, and heals the bruise. After you reach a sharp corner, you bump into a merchant in a stall. I knew this was a good spot. Here, you rascal, still alive. Finding any treasure, I have good stuff for sale. Please have a look. Love your outfit, by the way. You can now sell things via the inventory. Hmm. Like I can sell them now because I'm in the shop, or because just as a general mechanic. Monster parts. Some parts of the monster are quite nutritious, restores 5. Sharpening stone improves the condition of one or all of weapons in your possession. Ring of life, which you shouldn't even be allowed to sell that. That's like the whole 10% of life on every new day. While on the path and not poison. It doesn't even feel like every day. It just feels like whenever you leave an area. Eating mushrooms costs health. The price increases by 1 with each mushroom eaten. Some kind of magical power. Eating reveals the kind. Um, Artifact, something unique that can only be found once. Temporary effect that lasts till the end of the day. Enchanted weapon. An effect that lasts, improves a certain stat while in possession. Cursed weapon weakens a certain stat while in possession. Weapons can't be dropped, it must be broken. So let's see what, maybe I should only be allowed to do that if I'm in a shop here, even if it lets you do it overall, but let me see my thing here. Attack 1, or wait a second. Where is my, where is that thing that I was using? I was doing like 3 to 4, so this is like 3 to 5. Or we don't really have a dedicated shield, I guess. You can never have enough of these. That's what I believe. Actually, one seems like plenty enough. Gonna be dual wielding shields. Thank you for your trust, your trust. I hope we like treasure, and I hope we meet again, he says, and I'm sure he does. Ring of Life, or I guess every event is treating it like a whole day. Outside a giant spherical copper and glass building stands a man in a white coat wiping his brow. What a day, he says. Finally found a way to combine magic and quantum physics. Turns out it opens a gateway to another dimension. Some kind of monster got through before I could close it. Interested in earning a sesame spell. You wander through long corridors of flashing red light until you reach the main hall. From a pool of bubbling plasma rises a junior air demon. Now be careful with demons. That weapon that kills a demon will be destroyed. What happened to what? My bare hands will be destroyed if I wait. What happened? Oh, it must have broken or something. My other weapon. Um, you strike and hit the junior air demon. So I wonder what that'll mean is strikes free but you block it completely. You try to get one, defend. So at some point these are gonna break too though. But no, I love what he said. Okay, the weapon that slays it is gonna be destroyed, so I'm gonna lose my bare hands. Is that what it means? That actually should be how it works. This proves to be your victory. You stomp out and tell the scientist he can shut off the alarm. That's great, he says. Here's the sesame spell as promised. Or maybe that would be a good strategy to do then to save whatever weapon you would normally have. I was thinking maybe I should just repeat the experiment on a higher frequency. Oh, see, you can. I guess I didn't notice when it said that other weapon broke if it did. I was thinking maybe I should repeat the experiment on a higher frequency. From the pool of experience rises an elixir of growth. Ring of life. Deep in the desert, among the surrounding sands, the mirages begin to show themselves. Oases, temples, a big rat racing towards you. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think that last one's real. Big rat is ready to attack, or, yeah, I'm still using my fucking bare hands. Lock it completely. Big rat strikes, lock it completely. Strong shield breaks apart. Okay, I must have missed that one. It's set up with the weapon. So now I have to find a shop again. The scratches and the terror are all part of the wonderful experience. Up until 5 minutes ago, the big rat had also been a proud possessor of some treasure. All of a sudden, there's a bang, a cloud of smoke, and an old man in a white cloak. It seems pretty interesting, actually, but when is he going to try to force me to pay money for some shit or watch an ad? I wonder what the general consensus is on that. Would you prefer would you prefer ads or like a microtransaction business model, or so many games are gonna have both? I want to sort of test the audio again because it was sort of better in that Pac-Man thing. Um, you could say maybe it just depends on the game too, but oh, okay, even like that. And this is more like what it should be. The only thing I don't like about doing these though is like there should be some sort of overlay or pause thing I can do. Or I guess I can just do that manually. I can just say, um, I can just do it like this. Okay, BRB. Right. I'm sure there's a way to do it within the app, but I don't even care. Okay, so that'll be our official AFK screen, I guess, just putting me right back on there. But yeah, let's see. It's very hard, I must admit, to decide what to even do some of the time. Yeah, I almost need some random generator to do it, right? Spin the wheel, random picker. But I would just put in for myself, like, what if, let me try to find that as a thing. Like, random mobile game generator, because there are so many too. Some random mobile games include, like, how are they random though if you're telling me what they are? Or these will just be like only the well-known, best-known ones. A lot of these aren't even games, it's like fucking TikTok and shit. I don't even know what that is. But no, it should almost be like that where pick a random mobile game. To be home, okay, homescapes. Or yeah, what's that whole Candy Crush Saga and shit that I always saw associated with Blizzard, just because I guess I don't know what it is exactly. It's like a board game originally, but it's like a matching thing. Like Peggle was something they put into WoW, or I forget. Like Blizzard had that uncanny ability to get people to play kind of anything, right? Just if oh they put it in WoW or they put it in some other capacity. Um, what was I just saying though? Oh, the Homescapes one. Like a decoration thing. Yeah, even like The Sims. But see, I've never really played any of The Sims, so I wouldn't want to ruin it by saying like, oh, I'm going to do it on here. Right. I don't know. I may be particular about certain things. You don't want to. You don't want to feel like you're undermining something right in your first experience that you could have had. Otherwise, even if you say like, oh, it's a different, like at least if it was a mobile exclusive one, but life is actually somewhat interesting. But I think that's very ad heavy. The Sims free play. Romance dating simulation. I find it kind of dumb that it says that. Like, sure, that might be a part of it, but because that's something you can do on the exact thing on PC. The Sims Free Play is a mobile game, runs in real time, meaning actions take real world time to complete. Players can earn in-game currency to unlock new content. I guess I mean, it is different than other. I probably won't even do that. Like just because I have some things on here doesn't mean I'm going to do all of them. But like, let's see, is that thing on PC? The Pac-Man thing that I just did. Pac-Man. Yeah, Party Royale. 9.8 out of 10. Is the multiplayer arcade style for Apple Arcade, for iOS, or Mac? No standalone for PC. Alright, so you have, so I mean, Apple Arcade is going to be iPhone exclusive, I would imagine, but Apple Arcade. Apple Arcade's exclusive games are available on iPhone or other devices. Subscription service. Is Apple Arcade only on iPhone? Developers cannot release their Apple Arcade games on other mobile platforms, but are allowed to release on console and PC. Let's see if they have like a Macintosh simulator. Calculator 1984. Inspired by the first generation Macintosh calculator. Yes, Steve designed it. Retro game emulator. I'm surprised they don't have that though, on Apple, no less. Like something that would be like you can just see what a Macintosh was like. It's always been like a source of ridicule. It feels like who actually uses a Mac? It's for like little soccer moms who don't know how to use a computer, or like fucking casual clowns. Right, like over the years, like maybe early on it had some relevance, but in the modern time, it's never been something that I've associated with, or it seems even awkward from what I've seen of people using it. Like it's just it seems unnecessarily complicated, which is maybe ironic because the whole original selling point of it was right that it was like it's the kind of thing that simplifies everything for ordinary people who don't have to be experts to use it. Mm. Oh man. Okay, let's continue this. All of a sudden, there's a bang, a clown. Like, I can't even concentrate long enough to do something without wanting to, not even so much play something else, but just like download something else. Or just because, oh, this makes me think of this kind of genre or whatever. All of a sudden, there's a bang, a cloud of smoke, and an old man in a white cloak. There you are. He says, like, you're the one teleporting about. You guessed it right. Indeed, I am the white sorcerer. He stares at you from under his eyebrows, expecting some kind of reaction. Well, I've come to warn you, child. This path is evil. It should not be trodden lightly by some random adventurer. To make matters worse, the goblin chief has come forth and now blocks the way. Let's just ignore it. We keep going. Here I am. You locate the sound and find a knight bound to a tree, head and shoulders covered with bird droppings. Got into a bit of trouble with a troll. It's all very interesting. These ropes, for example, hard as chains. But those birds, I smell like a cave bat. You wouldn't be so kind as to burn the ropes, would you? You inspect the contents of your pack, but you find nothing to make a fire. Wait, what happened to the whole goblin thing? Like, did I have to ask him about it to? I thought we would just encounter it anyway. A full day of walking and all you've discovered is a pebble in your shoe and blister on your big toe. You meet a woman with the dirt-stained clothes and her hair full of twigs and leaves. I love mushrooms, she says. Know everything about them. Too bad they prefer to grow in ruins and dungeons. You have some? I bet I can identify your mushroom. She puts a mushroom in her mouth, only to take it out a moment later. Defense mushroom, she says. You indicate that she can keep it. No, what if I want to use it? That's her trick. Like, she pretends to identify so she can get a taste of it. And then you're so disgusted by the fact that she put it in her mouth, you insist that, oh, you can have it. You enter a chasm and follow it into a mountain. Skulls, bones, and rusted blades litter the narrow path. You halt at the black iron doors of a dungeon. Watching them slide open, you notice the engravings of a slime spell. When you blindly stepped on the pressure plate, I thought you were gone. Instead, it opened a door to a secret room. You found some treasure. Why is it talking like it's a person? I thought you were gone. This is supposed to be just like it talking to us as an objective observer. Go back out further in. You've been hearing so many disturbing sounds all day that it takes you relief when a hunting wasp reveals itself. Now all you have to do is kill it. Oh, I'm kind of a mistake. But then again, I can't really get a weapon because should I even be allowed to flee? I guess I should. You dash and roll, but your enemy won't let you get away so easily. The hunting wasp strikes 5 and you block it slightly. I should have just kept skipping everything and not going anywhere until I found a shop, right? Because I could say, oh, it's not my fault that I don't have a weapon because I haven't been offered a shop in a while, but that's kind of a good planning aspect. You have to really be careful about that because, right, when I had the chance to get the weapon, I really should have, because then you might not find a shop for a while. The hunting wasp strikes and you block it slightly, and then you die. What? No. Oh, hello, story. I didn't read you. Yeah, hi, Death. Very funny. Do you really need to do this? Well, actually, I just set up a small resurrection business. There's a coincidence. Quite so. For a small fee, I restore life, cure poison, and pretend we never met. Or what? You have to actually pay for that? Cheer up. This isn't so bad. Dying is part of the game. It teaches you things. Actually, I shouldn't be allowed to read this because I should just delete the game, period, but whatever. Plus, it gives me something to do, so draw a lesson, try again. I bet the next adventure will turn out differently. 15 out of 50. Oh, that would be like the number of days. But that was a simple oversight of, again, just not carrying a weapon, or even whether you carry it or not. It should be, I shouldn't have been seeking out adventure and combat and stuff like that then. And I just kind of got unlucky. If you really abused the fleet mechanic, you know, you could have obviously done a lot more with it. So this one I should remember maybe playing briefly before. Um, Hi there, thank you for downloading. I don't care. Difficulty. Yeah, let's go highest difficulty, just dumb. Better enemy stats all around. Upgrades item cost more. Combat mode, 1 action per turn, fast and straightforward. Advanced 2 actions per turn, more tactical and dynamic. Permadeath, obviously, as everything. When you die, the game is over. I like that it even has that. Customizable modifiers. Allows advanced difficulty customization. Select avatar. Anything but the stupid ass knight. We gotta do it. Chess one, fucking. Just in principle, but I'm actually not going to. Or you know what, let's do it. Yeah, let's pretend like we're a lowly pawn. Yeah, let's leave that extra generic hero. So adept, let's make it like the most generic type of character possible, like where you're not really good at anything. You were a slave for most of your life, and you learned to survive on reduced rations. What is it? No supplies penalty. Right, like where you don't really have any specialty, but you're almost in the sense of minimalist, I guess. Sort of like a monk, 10% restored sanity on evasion. Man, there's a lot to choose. Minus 5% enemy crit. Select animal companion. King Cobra, retaliation, 10% chance to poison an attacking enemy, inflicting 2 damage per turn. Vampiric Bat, drain life, 12% chance to heal for half of inflicted. 12% chance to heal for half of inflicted damage on physical attack. Crit, steal 15% more. Arcane Demon, 12% chance to absorb enemy ability directed at you, healing you in the process. 12% chance to completely absorb it, I guess? Spellweaver Spider, 10% chance to cast a spell without a cooldown. Birds of Prey, plus 10% crit on wounded enemies. 9 lives, 5% chance to avoid all damage. Lick Wounds, 10% to restore 5 HP on the next turn. Now, I don't know how relevant that 5 is going to be later on into it. I'd rather it be a percent than a raw value. 10% chance to distract the attacking enemy, stunning it for 1 turn. 6% chance to find supplies when exploring a new tile. Stoicism, all goats. Look at how many there are, man. This is crazy. Regeneration plus 25% healing items potency. Hasty retreat, yeah, that should be my specialty. Just run away from every fight. That can sort of ruin some of these formats at times because it'd be like, you know, oh, you would have died, but you just keep running away every time. So that was a whole format that I did, like in Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, like try to run away from every fight and get, because that's like a total mitigation game where you can mitigate 100% of damage. So unlike Paper Mario where you couldn't do that because, you know, you can mitigate some of the damage, but you're still always going to take a certain amount. But in the Mario and Luigi type games, right, Superstar Saga is just the one I did it with, but you maybe could do it with any of them. Since you could mitigate 100% of damage, I called it the Master of Mitigation series, where like I would run away from every single fight except for boss fights or things you had to do. And so because of that, you're trying to basically level up as little as possible. So the only fights you're going to do and the only experience you're going to get is from the bosses that you have to fight, and you're going to run away or avoid every single other fight. So you're basically doing it almost like a level 1 type character, like a soul level 1. Minus 7% ambush chance in the dungeon. Minus 8% chance to restore 1 sanity when casting offensive spell. What would be sort of up my alley here? 12% chance to absorb enemy ability directed at you, healing in the process. 12% chance to heal for half of inflicted damage on physical attack. The city of Ashbourne was once a place of peace and prosperity, a bustling trade hub at the heart of the old empire, rivaled only by the capital in its golden splendor. At the height of its power, the empire ruled the known world, dispensing wisdom and justice in equal measure to all of its subjects, until, in their blind hubris, sages of the Sun Court overreached in their arcane experiments
and shook the very foundations of the world. They made the tear a breach in the fabric of existence from which the dark crept into our world and locked the hearts and minds of mankind in its cold embrace. Hordes of otherworldly monstrosities followed in its wake, and slowly, inch by bloody inch, swarmed the land in all directions. The empire fell, and the better part of the human civilization. Oh shit! I can't even keep up with reading it. Like many others, you have come to Ashmore seeking fame and fortune, responding to the city council's ever-increasing demand for manpower and requirements of gold. Your destination, the fabled remains of the old imperial capital, once the center of the civilized world, nowadays a ruin, said to contain vast treasures and gloomy halls. As you make your way through the city, you realize it is in dire state. Signs of a recent siege are evident on the chaotic streets and dismayed faces of passerbys. A slim pretense of control is maintained only by the presence of the mercenary companies and the employee of the city council and dwindling garrison of the city guard. You walk by a tavern and a worn sign saying in the wind, betraying its name, the dancing dragon, and all you need your wits about you for, oh my god. As you watch the black cloud, it's not even that it moves so fast, it's just it's so long, and actually having to verbally read it makes it hard. As you watch the black clouds gather and advance slowly but steadily across the evening sky, the color of dried blood, doubt takes root in your mind, and you wonder, not for the first time, if this was a good idea. One thing is certain, however, you have a grim quest ahead of you. I love that name drop. Welcome, adventurer. Grim Quest is a game about dungeon crawling. You go to dungeon, defeat monsters, collectively level up, and upgrade your character as you progress through the story. Grim Quest can be challenging for players unfamiliar with this type of game. So please pay attention. Read the tutorial. Okay, I better just. Your journey can get pretty hard at times. Don't despair. Try different strategies to see what works. Don't forget you can adjust difficulty settings. Find it too hard. Okay, whatever. So yeah, this seems to work pretty well. At least it didn't crash as far as I can tell. Let me see how much the delay is. It doesn't seem too long, so that's good for now, I guess. We definitely enjoyed that Pac-Man thing. This Soul Knight is also pretty good.